Hello everyone and welcome back to Enigma's Cold War server, where I've had a bit of an erratic schedule, so I've just been fitting in the odd sortie here and there, which means I've mostly been flying solo. But all the same, I did pick up a set of 3 really quite interesting sorties here, and thought I'd just talk them through, see what I've learned from these and what I can take forward. All of them are in the Mig-19 Farmer, and all are on the current Caucasus map rotation, so that is the rear aspect only or rear aspect mostly scenario. So yeah, let's jump into the first one.
Chemist 1-1, Overlord, Bra, 294, 12, 500, drag west, Vigan.
So I get the Overlord call for a Vigan approaching here. Keeping an eye out. Do see it just down there, right on the, well, halfway to the horizon. There's another plane moving in, but that is a friendly. I believe that's another farmer in the area. I see 3 planes in total here, all going around one another. I fire a missile here. It's been a while since I've used this missile set, and that's way too far to fire the missile. I was partially doing it just because I thought it was going to be safe enough with the other MiG far enough behind there. So I don't get a kill, but it does miss. It's actually the missile exploding off to the side there. So trying to catch up here because this Vigan is on someone's tail. And so I want to try and get to him before he can get a shot off. Got tone here, but a really poor angle. Missiles really won't manage to turn in time here. Get a little bit of a weird spray coming from another friendly there. Vigan launches a missile but doesn't track. Getting very nervous, he's about to go for gun, so I do launch my missile as soon as I get tone. Then just counting down. And he just collides with the Mig-21. Just clean cuts the wing off, they both fall down to the ground. Not too much I can do there, but I am 2 missiles down. So a little bit later, in the same area, this is a intact Mig-21 that I've spotted. Just double checking that it is in fact friendly. Do realise that I've got a merge call a little to the south and see flak bursts. I'm over, I believe, enemy lines at this point, so flak bursts are being pointed at friendlies, but that doesn't mean that there's not an enemy in the area. So trying to get a visual on whatever was being shot at over here. See something there on the horizon. See swept wings. And then diving in on it, something else with swept wings. The diving plane fires and misses back there. Just trying to keep track of the lead plane here. See it just there, being very closely followed behind. Not sure which one here is a farmer, which one is a saber, so I'm just following them. Though pretty sure the one in the lead is a saber by the amount of smoke that's coming off of its engines. Then while I'm getting closer, a third one joins the tail here. You can see the third one is an F5. And so we've got a saber being chased by a farmer being chased by an F5. F5 fires there, I go high trying to get on this F5. Don't think he's seen me yet, so he just seems to be trying to turn to get guns on the other farmer. Don't quite have the space there to turn around, so I go a little high and convert the energy back down as I'm coming down, try and catch up to him, try and close the distance. So he's getting really close to getting guns on the farmer there. Do a little burst, but a little too high, a little too off there. Really could have done better on that. I'm not really good with the guns on the Farmer. Now, unfortunately, it does increase the distance here a little bit. I probably should have taken shots around here, but I'm a bit wary of the amount of ammo I've got. I do at this point have both weapons armed, so you can bleed through the ammo really quite quickly on the Farmer. He does some nice rolls and jinks to avoid me having a clean shot, and eventually starts to extend away. I follow him back all the way to his road base. Need to be a bit careful here to make sure I don't fire into the road base's protection box. But I think at this point he seems to have lost track of me. I do get a warning of a Vigan. I assumed that was the Vigan that was on the road base. But as we'll see in a minute, I was a bit mistaken there. Now here I do get a little bit greedy. I should have just stayed a little bit high. Instead I try and stay low and turn with them to get guns on this pass. And that really messes up my angle. Here is now right below me. Really too quick. Almost hit the poor guy. So end up having to climb. He then sees me having passed right over his canopy, and so tries to turn on me. Luckily, he was going in for landing, so he's at a very poor energy state right now, whereas I'm in a fairly decent energy state. And the Mig-19 can just completely outrate the F5. Missiles fired there, and can just see a Vigan has joined in the fight, so that was the Vigan I got the warning about and absolutely ignored. But thankfully, turning this sharp, there aren't many missiles that can properly track on this server with this much of a rate of turn. Now, Vigan makes a interesting choice here. The Vigan reverses. That opens him up to be a really good target, and I decide to go in on him. Of course, the downside is that means the F5 is free to come around on me. Still, I decide this is worth it. If I get the Vigan out of the fight, then at least it's back to a one-on-one. I do take a hit there. The F5 is going in for guns. Hit the Vigan. Vigan seems to disappear at that point, but he does go down. I do get that kill. And then as I'm turning around, the F5 is now right on me. So yeah, the Vigan sacrificed himself, but the F5 is definitely looking to capitalise here. Do make another misplay here. I probably should have just tried outturning the F5. His energy state's not gotten any better. Instead, I try and force the overshoot, and that goes wrong. He manages to hit me with his cannons, and I go down. So, 1 kill, 1 death. Not too bad.
Give us 1-1-2817 miles, Austin Roger, 1700.
This is another day I'm being talked on by GCI here. And GCI really does make the difference in these games. So big thank you Victor37 there, really helped me out. Fortunately what GCI can't do is make me look underneath me, because I keep getting these calls, I'm trying to look for where it is. Turns out they're directly underneath me this entire time.
Are you tracking that current Mirage at 12?
Negative, no visual. Tally. Thankfully, the Mirage does eventually start to climb, so I do see him.
F1, do left in, left-hand turn. Cardiac 11-0834 miles for ball.
Trying to get round on him. Does look a little bit more hopeful here. So I'm coming around, but he does manage to whip his nose around. He does pre-flare there. He realised I was getting my nose around. I wouldn't have been able to take the shot there. The aspect is just too high.
Chemist 1-1, check 6, 3/10 mile, Mirage 1.
F5 does get in my nose. I see the F5 ahead of me. I decide to go for the kill. Look around, the 6 that Magic called out is already fired, and I just don't have the energy to outturn that missile. And the
Chemist 1-1, you may have to know you got that lead Mirage F1.
The Farmer doesn't have any
Code
countermeasures.
F11036,
But
4 miles.
as Victor said right at the end there, I did actually manage to get the kill, so 1 kill, 1 death again. Reasonable. So here we are on a different day, but still on a snowy map. We are heading in from a call from Mirage in this area. You can see one target ahead, just distantly moving above the city there. And there is another plane climbing. Plane climbing can see as a Mig-21. So that very, very long afterburner. And then I see the Mirage there behind it. Mirage starts to turn, realise it's turning towards me, so I quickly select cannons instead. Try for a shot there. Probably could have got a hit, but I was a bit nervous about ramming him or the ground. So, mess up the shot, climb away, do lose track of him and the MiG-21. See a missile plume there up ahead. Gives me some idea of where they are. But flying through the missile plume, I can't see either of them. See another missile plume there. And that's the MiG-21. Check his 6. Doesn't seem to be anyone in 6. See a third missile plume up ahead. And there's the hit. It's actually 2 hits there. I think the MiG-21 took a missile from someone, but the Mig-19 is destroyed there. Sorry, the Mirage is destroyed. So a little bit later, I had a while of trying to find a Tiger II. I was just not being able to see it, so it skipped the part of me flying around in circles, not seeing anything. It's me after I've got visual contact on him. He's actually up ahead, I don't know why I'm looking down there. See a good view of him there. This is a Tiger II in the area. Now, we're in a 2-circle here. I lose track of him. I quickly check Overlord. Turns out that the Tiger has reversed at some point. He's back over this mountain. Turn towards him and see 2 things here off my nose. One MiG-21, one F5. So, trying to get on this F5 here. He zooms by. Thankfully, he doesn't seem to have noticed I'm here. So I line up, I fire a little bit too quickly that time. Was within range, didn't have a good angle for that launch. So breathe, reacquire, launch again, second one splashes, so that's a Tiger II down. Now one thing I need to be careful of here is these white traces are really showing up very well in this lighting condition, and so I just pointed myself out for everyone. Go towards this white smoke, turns out to be a damaged MiG-21. So cool, there is a Mirage 0 miles away, can see a missile tracer there. Unfortunately, I think he's just taken out that MiG-21, the damaged one. So not much I can do there to help, but I can try and get revenge. Trying to acquire, see a MiG-21 moving low altitude there. Figure that he might know better about what's going on than I do, so try and look in his direction. If nothing else, I should be able to cover him. And see that he was engaging this F5, but he has gone very high here. So I thought he was out of the fight temporarily, but then this other F5 comes in. I figure, well, the MiG-21 might be engaging the first F5, he's definitely not engaging this one, so I'll turn in on this one. Don't quite have the room to complete the turn and get guns on. Here I get a bit confused because there's a Mig-21. Turns out there's actually 2 Mig-21s at this point. Fortunately, the other one gets shot down by a Vigan. That Vigan that just got called out. So I'm trying to get on this F5 here. There's Vigan in the area. There's another F5 somewhere. There goes the Vigan. There's also one of the Mig-21s down there. There goes one of the Mig-21s. Only get around, get good sight on this guy after quite a lot of messing around. Try and pull in on his tail. Give a little burst. Could have done better there, but getting closer, getting closer. See that he is trying to pull onto the 6 of this fish bed, so I'm trying to pull around, try and save that fish bed if I can. Luckily this guy is really focused on the fish bed. I really should have got those. I keep aiming a little too high, but there I do manage to kick it over, get a good hit, got an engine fire. And so he is at least very damaged at this point. And as I look around, he's not actually out the fight, he's still in the air. The engine fire's gone out. But see multiple planes around me, trying to decide which I should focus on. Got the plane above me that I can't quite ID. Then as it turns over, I see it is a Mirage. Decide the undamaged Mirage is more of a threat than the very damaged Tiger, so go after this Mirage here. Thankfully he's at a very low energy state, almost stationary target. I only get a short burst there because that was the end of that gun's ammunition. Doing a tip here I learned from Pebble, where if you only arm one gun at a time, you kind of get twice the ammo. And there you just see that Mirage I shot splinters to pieces, so I do get that kill. I don't know what happened to the other Tiger 2, I don't know if he re-engages or if he just RTBs, I don't seem to get anything in the chat feed. A little while later though, I'm joining this pair. So Mig-21 is engaging this F5. Mig-21 looked there like he was off the F5. You can see him coming in a bit better there. I realise I don't have the angle, I'm just going to get in the way, so I pull off. Try and go high, get some more energy while keeping an eye on these two. Probably did just get in the way there, but try to fix my mistake as quick as I could. Mig-21 continues to engage, and this is when I see there's another plane joining the fight. This is another F5, just see it there in the merge. So, do my best to turn on this F5. See him there glinting in the sun. I get my nose around. He gets his nose around, we both shoot and we dodge the same direction. We both jink up there at the same time, and so I don't think that crash was particularly anyone's fault. I think that was just an accident. So yeah, pretty good run there though. 3 kills for 1 death. Slowly getting better, definitely getting better with the guns. Definitely do just need to improve a little bit. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please comment, like, subscribe. All really does help. And otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Cheers!